'Twas the night before election, and all through the house every creature was stirring, from fat cat to louse. Are we ready? Are we ready for this festive affair? In the hope that the party guests soon would be there. First to arrive, bright-eyed with zeal, and wearing t-shirts saying, "Save the seal." The Greens stood happily upon the welcome mat, smiling genially at this and that. We've brought a keg of organic beer, to share with all with goodwill and cheer. They stepped into the house, unable to believe they'd actually been invited at all this eve. Next to arrive, munching a bacon sandwich, was Labour, clearly trying to gain an advantage by identifying themselves with the working classes, but sadly ending up looking like arses. They shimmied their way to the floor for a dance, looking like an army of jiving red ants. But under the lights, their reddish hue darkened to a colder shade of blue. "I dinna ken if I call this a hootenanny. I'd like to throw on myself, but I canny." The SNP clan had arrived in force, led by the formidable Sturgeon, of course. They marched their way from outside to in, raising a raucous to get the party in swing. The Welsh watched meekly, in awe from afar. "Plaid Cymru, come join us for a drink at the bar." The SNP beckoned with a wink and a smile. "I've heard the DUP may turn up in a while." The doorbell rang. Here was another. With a fag in one hand and a pint in the other, UKIP stood proud and purple. Nothing rhymes with purple. The Tories arrived, dressed to the nines, already tipsy off the finest French wines. They strolled blithely up the garden path, tittering at the poor serving staff. They walked up to UKIP and nudged them gently. "Say, old boy, I can't park the Bentley. Would you mind moving your car slightly to the right, so I can fit mine in right next to you tight?" "I'm afraid I can't," the Purples replied, "for the BNP are on our other side." "I'll have to park then on the yellow line and claim on expenses if I get a fine." Just then, a cry was heard as the Lib Dems were entering. "Ah, there's the yellow-bellied boy I've been mentoring." The blue snapped his fingers, and the yellow raced up to sit by his side like a Labrador pup. Cameron looked down and whispered with spite, "Listen, Clegg, give up the fight. If Ed needs a brain and I need a heart, then you win the cowardly lion's part." The party descended into squabbles and quarrels, with libellous lies flying looser than morals. Accusing fingers were pointed at all. One might not guess they were having a ball. For really, there's nothing that politicians prefer than to argue, contend, conflict, and demur. And so I leave you with this festive misquote. Happy election to all, and to all a good vote.